Good afternoon, you handsome lot. We've got on the ramp today a 2019 Volkswagen Golf, which was in the other day having a heater matrix replacement because it was all blocked, if you remember rightly. Now, I did take the car down the road for a little bit of a test drive and it had a wheel bearing noise. Well, that car has come back in for a wheel bearing replacement today. Now, well, let me just lower my ramp while I'm chatting away. That'll do. While that ramp's going down, I'll tell you what's going on. We've got this wheel bearing to replace. I've got a 330D Touring, which is coming in for a little bit of a service and an ABS fault. I think it's a sensor, but that's one of my best mates. That'll probably be, well, it will be about 12 o'clock when I finish. And also a little Corsa with a heating problem. But yeah, should we get involved and get this wheel bearing replaced? I think it was a front. We'll have a little look. Right, we're with the car now on the ramp. We're going to give it, I can't remember whether it did sound like a driver's side, and I think it is a driver's side, but we're going to check. Give it a shake side to side, feel for up and down. Give it a spin, have a little listen. That one is nice and quiet, but I have noticed that this vehicle does need 4 tyres, which the customer is having them done. But anyway, let's come around to the driver's side now. Got no play side to side, nothing up and down. Yep, that is the one we're going to be replacing. Let's get this wheel off. Now to remove the wheel bearing, we've got to remove the brakes. Now what we're going to do, get a little pry bar, just gently, don't need to go mad, just prise the pots back. I can get me little leverage in there somewhere, just enough so it comes past the lip on the discs. Can't get my lever in there. Right, only just one's coming back a little bit. Then we can remove the 2 caliper carrier bolts holding all the assembly on together. We can lift that up out of the way and get the brake disc off. Now if you don't know already, the wheel bearings on these Volkswagens, especially the new ones, they are bolt on, which makes it a lot easier to change. You haven't got to faff about with the press and playing Jenga with different sockets and one thing and another. But to remove it, 3 bolts on the bottom ball joint, remove the dry shaft nut. You can get now, give all the threads a little bit of a clean. Tiny little squirt with some Power Lube Plus. See how much I used? I didn't use a great deal. I'll do the 3 bolts. Right. I'll tell you what, that little DeWalt gun. Ooh, dreamy that is. Right, just pop it down now. We can just pull that dry shaft out and we can get access to the 3 bolts. Let me get my torch. The 3 bolts on the back of the hub there. Can you see them? Simple. Right, well I've gone ahead and I've removed the 3 bolts out of the back of the hub. Now it should just give a little bit of a tap. Me saying a little tap, that took quite a lot of a tap. There we go, that is one bearing out. With that bearing now out of that hub, what we need to do is give it a nice clean in there so the brand new bearing slides in beautifully. And what I'm going to be doing is using my little needle gun because there is quite a little bit of corrosion build-up on the bottom there. I'm going to give it a good once over with a wire brush as well. And there we go, after a couple of minutes of cleaning, that is looking near enough brand new. Now, if you've done everything right, this new wheel bearing, now be careful with the magnetic strip on the back because you do not want to be damaging that. That should now just slot in there, look at that. Perfect. You should never have to force anything. Clean as best as you can. Make the job easy. Make the job easy. On installation, always refer to your information. Now we're going to be using all data. Now the 3 bolts holding it to the hub, they are, where's it gone? 90 newton meters and then 90 degrees. and also number 4, which is a dry shaft bolt, and that is 200 Newton meters and then 90 degrees. Everything on the wheel bearing side of things is torqued up to spec. Now what I've done, put a little pin at 12 o'clock, so when we know we've got 90 degrees, all the bolts will be facing 3 o'clock. Now to put the dry shaft back in, I have put a little bit of copper slip on it, so if it ever has to come out again, it'll come out fairly easy. Not that these do come out very easily on the Volkswagens. But anyway, should we get and put this vehicle back together? And there we have, just like magic, all that assembly is now built back up. Now, as you've seen, I've just removed the centre cap and we're going to torque up the centre bolt up when it is on the floor. Now we've got to go ahead now and put 4 tyres on, which the other lads are cracking on with. As you can see, I've put one new one on there. And there we have it, that car now is back on the floor, and I have torqued that dry shaft bolt up. If you can see me little green line. Job is a good one. Right, get this off the ramp, and we can go ahead now and get that BM on. It's having just a little bit of a service and an ABS fault. Let's skip the BM for now, because this, I've got to have a little look at it for an airbag light. As you can see, the airbag light is flashing. So we're going to grab the launch now, get it plugged in, and see what is going on. Now while I'm waiting for the diag to load and do his high-speed scan and one thing and another, I can't stress enough to people that are doing diagnostics when they're plugging these cars in. First thing they do is plug the cars in, bang, clear the fault codes. No, don't, because all these modern diagnostic equipment now, they have got a function where you can create a report. Before you clear any fault codes, make a report of every single module of the car so you know what's going on, and then you can go from there, if that makes sense. Right, well, the fault code that we have got is the driver's airbag module open. Shall we have a little look? It's going to be behind here. We're going to have a little look at the clock spring. Normally when the clock springs fail on them, the horns stop working, but this one is still working. We'll get that cowling off and have a little look around. Right, well, we've gone ahead now and hang on, let me just turn this mic. That's it. Now I've had a little look. There's 2 stages on the airbag, stage 1, stage 2. Now this orange one, the circuitry on that one is okay. Now the yellow one, if I come round, hang on, this one, I swap the pins over, I come around the back, you might be able to hear multimeter buzzing. Checking. So that side of it's okay. If we swap the pins over, we come round. Now there is 4 wires, 3 pins, so 1 pin will be shared. And we've got no continuity on. That 1 wire, I think, is the brown one. So yeah, we can confirm now that the clock spring behind the steering wheel has failed. So rather than me put that car, let me turn this mic back again. Rather than me put that car back together, I'm going to go ahead, probably get a second-hand one, because where I live there is a Nissan breaker, so I'm going to give them a ring and hopefully we can pick that up Monday morning on my way to work, if they've got one. But yeah, right, now we can get this off and get the BM on. And there's a lad with a BM. How bad is your car?
What?
Is it scrap?
No, mint.
Mint.
Sell it.
Every car owner's famous words. Right, well, we have now got the car on the ramp, and it is a little bit of me, this, I'm not going to lie. ABS fault on. ABS fault on? No, ABS light is on. Well, it was on because the ignition's gone off. And we're also going to be doing a bit of an oil filter on it as well. Let's pull the bonnet. And I did tell a little bit of a porky. because I thought it was a 330D, but it's not. It's a 335D. Absolute monster of a car. Right, should we get it in the air and have a little look? Before we take it up in the air, I have done a diagnostic report, and we have got a wheel speed sensor supply shorter ground front left, which it is intermittent. So we're going to have a little look at the wiring. Yeah, let's get the arms underneath and get it up in the air. Right, before we take it fully up, we're just going to back the oil filter cap off, and also oil filter housing. Oh, I can't do it one-handed. I'm not very strong. I'm very strong with my left hand. Right. We're just going to back that oil filter off, so all the oil out of that filter housing drains into the sump. I tell you what, it is kind of nice to have that sun come through the window, and I tell you what, it is bright. Anyway, thank God on these BMWs they have got a little inspection cover that you take off to get the sump plug off, because I tell you what, these cars, especially BMs, they put that many screws in all their, let me come out of the sun, they put that many screws in all these belly pans. It's a bloody nightmare. But anyway, let's get this drain plug out, and while the oil's draining out, we can whiz the passenger front wheel off and have a little look. Right, well, we've got the passenger front wheel off, and I've checked the wires and they seem to be in good condition. So what we're going to do, we're just going to, I'm not, Jake is, he's going to pull the battery off. Well, pull all the covers off of the battery. We're going to check the battery, and then we're going to check the voltage down on the wires and see what's happening. Right, well, we've done a battery report, a battery test, and it's got 27%, and it's saying good recharge, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump on the GYS now, put it in charger mode, and it is AGM, and as soon as we couple these leads up, that charger will automatically start charging. Should do anyway. No. Now it is. Now it's charging. Battery's now on charge. We've got a multimeter connected up. Jake, just open the door, and the car, as soon as the car wakes up, you should see. There we go. Job is a good one. So we're getting voltage there. I'm going to say that sensor is absolutely shot-a-rooney. Nothing we can do because I can't get one until next week from GSF. Right, now that all the oil has drained out, let's go and put, like I am using a MAN filter. I do like to use MAN filters. In the bag, you do get a new crush washer. Pointless changing the plug itself because it's not very tight. We'll put this on and get it torqued up. I think it's something stupid like 20 newton meters, I think, if that. But we'll have a little look. Right, brand new oil filter, which is now in. Let's get some oil in it. Of course, we're going to be using some comma. Now, this car does take 6.5 litres, so we're going to put all this in, and then 1.5 litres out of the other tub. With me carrying everything out, we do need to reset the service and update the history on the iDrive. And we can do that with the tab 3. As we can see, when you do these on the tab 3, you've got to read the mileage in miles, convert it into kilometres, enter it into kilometres, and then it transfers it into miles. A bit of a faff, I know, but anyway, we've put everything that we need. We've done an engine oil and also a vehicle check. What we've got to do now, write service record, and then that will transfer it to there. A little bit like that. If we click on it now, we can see that we've done an engine oil and a vehicle check. Well, that is that car now all done. All I've got to do is just check the wheel nuts, make sure that the wheels are, well, not going to fall off. And I think after this one I've got to have a look at a little quarter, I think, because the heaters aren't working on it. So I'm just going to have a little look at this one in a minute and see what's happening with that, and then we can go home. Right, it's now ticking over. I've got my diagnostic machine coupled up to it, and we are reading 93 degrees. I have got it at a high idle, should I say, with a bit of a bar on the throttle. Inactive. The fans haven't come on as of yet, but I think if we're going to have a little look, I think we've got a blocked heater core. You can see that bottom hose, the water's not circulating. And the car is about to overheat. And everything else is top hose, bottom hose. Yeah, I think we've got a blocked heater core. We'll have a little look. Right, well, drastic measures have had to happen. I don't know whether you can see. I am absolutely covered in crap. Can you see all the little black bits? Now what I've done, got an airline with a valve on the end, put it on one side of the heater hose, a little bit like that, and then blown through it. And the crap that's come out of it is horrendous. What we're going to do now, top the coolant back up and just have a little look, see what's happening now. Right, well what I think I've done with this, well what I have done, I've disconnected the bottom hose and drained the coolant out of it. You should have seen the colour coming out of it. It was almost like black sludge, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a rinse through. Then put some fresh coolant in it, I think, before we go anywhere. That's the next steps. Well, we have had a little bit of success, I think, with a little bit of a blow through with the tyre valve, and there was a couple of other pipes that we've had to unblock as well. This coolant hasn't been changed for a long time in this car. This pipe here that comes off the water pump, which goes through the throttle body, that was block solid, so I've had to unblock that. But if we have a little look at the heater pipes now, they're now getting nice and hot. Have a look at the vents. Hang on, put my camera there first. Right, the heating in that car now is working. Bearing in mind, when this car came in, it had no heating at all. And if we just pop round to live data, we can have a little look that it is ticking over, lovely, at 82 degrees. But yeah, I'm happy with that, I think. That is it. We have now done for the week. It has been rather a bit chaos here this morning. Before cars, 4.5 hours sort of thing. It isn't bad, that's how we get through them. But yeah, it's a little bit different content to what I normally do, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to literally just have 5 minutes now while there's nobody here. It's peace and quiet. Put all my tools away before I go home, because I have got packing to do. We're moving house, so yeah, I've got to go tomorrow, I think, and sort of try and sort of sofa out. But yeah, that is it. That is done. Turn everything off. Get ready to go. I've washed my hands, ready to go. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the video or videos today. I know it's just something different to what I normally do. But if you've made it this far and you like the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We will see you next week. We've got plenty of stuff going on next week. Still got crap with my glasses off that car that I blown out. But anyway, yeah, we've got lots of stuff going on next week. I think I've got a Jaguar coming in for a timing chain. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I've been looking forward to doing one of them. But you have got some new tools to show you. But anyway, hope you have a mint weekend, or had a mint weekend, depending on what day I set this video up. But yeah, take it easy, and I will see you next week. Let's get it sent.